Salutations, everybody. It is Maddie here today. Hope you're all doing absolutely excellent. Today, we're gathering to talk about a set of Xbox console rumors. It starts with this generation.
It's gotta be something that's like a PC type console. I think that's the best bet Xbox has before it moves into a Sega type of fucking reality. I mean, they're cooked if they don't release something different. I mean, I think the one thing that pisses me off is the fact that when they released the Xbox Series S, I'm not gonna sit here and be like it was trash, but it's like it reminds me of like a Soulja Boy console. It's like lightweight, it feels cheap, and it costs $500. And it's like, bro, I don't know.
Whether or not Xbox is going in on the Series X and S for this holiday season, and it's going to carry us all the way into 2027, where we end this conversation talking about the next generation of video game consoles. Like many of you out there, I'm mildly jaded about this type of conversation because I feel this has been such an anemic, we're figuring it out style generation. There's been so many layoffs, studio closures, and to already be talking about what's happening next when I feel we're still figuring out so much right now feels a little weird. But however, this is the way the industry is going, and I want to talk about it because over these last couple of days, the rumors have broken out that Xbox is not being stocked in major retailers. As expected, this has built up a lot of panic, which is why I'm waiting for these rumors to build more often now because I see kind of a trend developing here. So I'd rather wait and see. So Xbox has responded to these rumors. We'll get into what
Why would someone not want the disc version? This is the one thing that I hate about Xbox because it pushes this no disc. You don't need a disc. Like, what is it? Like 2 out of 3 of the consoles that they promote the fuck out of, or even just 3 out of 4 of them, don't have a disc drive. That just automatically puts me in a situation where I'm like, what the fuck? Like, why do we not have a disc drive? I love games when I hold them in my hand. They're mine. I'm not going to pay for games online as much. On PS5, I was put in a situation where I got it for such a cheap price. I got it for $200 in 2022 from my friend who didn't want it anymore. He was very indecisive. So I don't have a disc drive. When I found that out, I was upset, but at the end of the day, it was $200. So that's the only console that I have that I pay for the games and I don't own them. Like, really, I don't own them. They're just on the console. Everything else though, like Xbox 360 and Nintendo Switch is a big one, bro. I could do I'm thinking about doing a video game collection video soon, just to give a realization of how many games I actually have. I want to fill up cabinets with my video games. I love video games to death. What do I do? Yo, bro, it's crazy because I hate when I switch topic videos, bro, because like I just switched from the video of Antonio Speaks to this video. So to anyone watching this video looks like, this chat looks so out of context now. Like, it's like, what? I don't know, bro. I don't know if your dad's really about that shit. I don't think he's about that life, bro. I don't think he's throwing it up. Nah, but That is crazy though, bro. What do I do? I would honestly, you don't have to be like him. You don't have to accept what he does at all. You're your own person. I do hate when people say that, the apple doesn't fall far from the tree. Of course, there's resemblance in certain areas, but you don't have to be like the person that, what your dad is, or you don't have to be that way. You just got to be your own person. Like, it's the same thing that reminds me when you talked about the Charlie Kirk situation. Just because the person who offed him was in a right household doesn't mean that he was right. He was a left. I don't agree with the left or the right at all. I don't agree with most of their stuff, but I do fall deeper into the right more than I do the left. I do agree with the left on a lot of things, though, like a lot of things. I agree on the right with a lot of things as well. That's why I don't even vote. I don't vote. I'm not going to promote voting either. I think, honestly, people need to vote for independent people. They need to stop being like, oh, it's got to be Democrat or Republican. And that's the last time I'll talk about that.
I think is actually happening here. And based on what's happening now with the Series X and S, that'll lead us into
look at that. Look at that, bro.
Trend developing here. So I'd rather
wait
for
this,
and
bro.
see.
This is
so
literally
Xbox has responded to these
2
rumors.
out of 3.
We'll get into what
no
I think
disc
is
drive.
actually happening here. And based on what's happening now with the
Look at that. No disc drive other than this one. Like 2 out of 3. Like, why is no disc drive just something that we're like, hell yeah, no disc drive? Like, it just pisses me the fuck off, bro. Like, I love owning the game. The only thing that I don't own as much as the PS5 is my DS. I have a 3DS that's modded. So I don't own a lot of the games. They're just there. But it's also modded, so I didn't pay for any of it at all. I just paid for the 3DS. And that's how, I mean, next is probably a Vita. I'm not going to lie. When I get deeper into streaming and actually deeper into what I'm trying to do on this platform and branch out, maybe make a living off of it, I will be playing the Vita a lot, bro. The Vita and the 3DS are probably my go-to handheld consoles. I don't play the Switch that much.
X and S. That'll lead us into our conversation about what's happening with PlayStation and Xbox for the next generation. So, ladies and gentlemen, let's dive in. Before we begin, I'm reviewing The Outer Worlds 2. You can also look out for some other
I always hear about that game. I don't know about that
Retro
game
Rebound, like Ninja Gaiden, so get ready for that. Otherwise, though, if you're new here and you're into what's going on with Xbox, we're covering them high and low. Hopefully, we got some positive news soon. Consider subscribing.
No more Xbox at Target.
So the way this broke was, yes, a Reddit post. The Target I work for is no longer selling Xbox games. The user writes, on Wednesday, the Target I work for has removed all Xbox games, and I'm pretty sure it will be store-wide. All the games have been discontinued and will most likely go into clearance.
What?
All these years of selling Xbox games, it's weird to see only PlayStation and Nintendo being sold. In 10 years, I'm pretty sure there will...
This is what happens when the company decides to go, hey, we're going to make only like, yeah, we're going to do it in the console. You don't own the games anymore. It deletes the idea of them being a competition. And I do believe, though, that Xbox will compete with PC, which is a big competitor. I mean, any type of PC you own, whatever PC, the fact that you can get a pre-built PC, but it's Xbox, is sort of smart, in my opinion. I do think that's a little bit... I knew they were going to move in that way because the Xbox Series X is built like a PC cut in half. Like if you had the whole PC or like a pre-built one, you cut it in half and then boom, there's half of it right there. That's the Xbox Series X. I think if they do that, it would be smart. I understand it would probably be like $1,000, but I do believe that that would be their best competition. It's just that PC is so big now. I mean, everybody uses a PC. I have a PC. You need a PC for everything, or at least like a really fucking strong, laptop, maybe a MacBook or some shit. Like you don't just have anything laying around. You need something to be able to post, do school, whatever you do. You need a laptop or a PC, and then you game. And next thing you know, oh shit, I could run games better on this. Like I don't even need a console anymore. A lot of my friends don't even use consoles; they use PCs.
Will be no video games in stores, just download cards. It's definitely going to make me sad due to having so much nostalgia of me spending time in the video game section of stores. I can co-sign that. Like I remember as a kid, just those kiosks with like the screen above the store shelves that you would like play the latest demos on. Those days have been gone for a while, but I think about them every now and again. Like Toys R Us had them. Such good times. But this led to a bunch of other people posting on Reddit what was going on in their Targets, in their Walmarts. What's going on here? I don't have any Xbox stock here. This has turned into a bit of he said, she said that we'll get into in a moment here. It really begins with GamesIndustry.biz covering how Costco stopped selling Xbox consoles in both the UK and the US. This was a confirmed report. A major retailer is...
That's insane, but I also didn't even know Costco even sold. I don't go to Costco, so I have no idea about that.
Pulling out of selling Xbox stock. Then we had Sneakers SO, who said there will be more retailers and department stores that will be pulling out of selling Xboxes. Well, now the rumor is Sam's Club is pulling out because they are doing clearance sales for...
If I ever found out that they're selling the Xbox Series X for $280, I am buying that immediately. $280 is a fucking steal. With the fact that they're making it go, oh, we're selling them for fucking $700, $600 nowadays. Like, bro... $280, like let's go.
Or the Xbox Series X and S at a major discount, and this is after the price hike. They're clearing stock, which has made people think that probably they're not going to be restocking anything at Sam's Club when it comes to Xbox. This has led into a mad chase. We had Larry Erb, who formerly worked at Xbox, saying, hey, I swung by.
Can you shake salt into your mouth whenever you speak? It makes you look really smart and intelligent. I don't think I will do that. I don't know what that means.
I Target and looked, and
Oh yeah, whenever I play Minecraft, I'll have to hit you up, Gimble Rabbit, because I do play Minecraft randomly, and I will run servers. I want to create a whole server on
Xbox stuff there. Destiny Gary called his local
GameStop
stores,
would be crazy.
and he said
Walmart
that
too.
they were in stock. So now we got people saying
Walmart, Target, GameStop, and Best Buy should be the number one sellers for Xbox Series X, in my opinion. I don't think Costco is like, or what is it, Kmart or some shit, like whatever else is laying around. Not Best Buy, Walmart, Target, and GameStop.
Saying things are in stock. We got others saying things aren't in stock. I checked my local stock online when I looked. I mean, it said like one Series X was available like 40 miles from me. And in the terms of the Series S, it was like after I traveled 30 miles, there was one Series S in 4 different stores. So yeah, slim pickings across Target and Walmart, at least in my local area. So as expected, the conversation around Xbox consoles picked up as it has these last couple of weeks. And this led to a report from Windows Central Gaming titled, "No, Target and Walmart are not removing Xbox products from their stores as Xbox misinformation."
I'm currently creating a one cursor we're using last terminal. Yeah, bro, I would love to play Minecraft, create a server, and we just build like a whole city. That would be pretty cool. A wall city.
Reaches a new level. And they have an official statement from Microsoft. They say Microsoft has given us a statement noting that Walmart and Target at large are still, quote, committed partners, end quote, for Xbox hardware. You can read the full quote here. Target and Walmart, among other retailers, remain committed partners for Xbox consoles, accessories, and games, end quote. And because you can't trust a word that Xbox says, people who report on Xbox or even Microsoft-related things now are being called into question, such as my good friend Jez Corden. And people were like, well, I'm not going to believe that quote. And he said on Twitter, you'd think I'd literally be insane enough to attribute something to Microsoft, the company, literally anyone, any journalist can email to check if I was lying if it wasn't true. We are reaching, I substitute reality, invent my own levels of ignorance and stupidity. And so this is the situation of Xbox in the end of 2025. It's a really sad state, to be honest, because you can't believe a single word the company says, and I gotta be honest, for a good reason. But even when you have someone like Jez, who, again, I consider a good friend, love Jez dearly, does good reporting, I look at him just doing his job here, and people are going after him for doing his part of the job, which is just getting a comment. Now, this is where my point of view steps in here. I'm going to trust my eyes, not my ears. That's how I'm thinking about it. I see what's happening here. Even if Microsoft is saying this, and I'm sorry if this sounds doom and gloom to a lot of people, but I know Microsoft is saying right now, no, like these are committed hardware partners. I'm not saying that really Target and Walmart are fully pulling out. Okay, that's not where I'm at.
I don't believe that.
The reality is Xbox Series X and S production is slowing down. The reality is it's not being stocked in certain places around the world. We already know that a lot of the hardware production was slowing down globally. Now it's reaching US retailers. Now we're just seeing less stock collectively across those who are still selling Xbox consoles and accessories. You look at the hardware price increases, the lack of demand, you look at the quarterly earnings for, 2 years now almost, and you see how hardware is always down. There's so much evidence. It stuns me that when I go on Twitter, I see people attacking one another over what is a very clear sign of a generation slowing down here.
Yep.
Slowing down early, to be clear. If you've been covering and tracking Xbox for a while, this may sound a little familiar. Why is that? Because during the 360 generation, Xbox slowed down then. The difference was they slowed down when they were sprinting to the finish line. This actually helped alongside PlayStation delivering some great exclusives. It allowed them to start to catch up a little bit. So PlayStation, actually, when they were getting smoked for that generation, ended up evening things out. And that's why when you look at the overall sales units between the two, you start to see a closer race than what actually was happening throughout that entire generation. But Xbox started to slow down production at the end of that generation. When the rumor was kicking around that Xbox was going to be starting a new generation a year earlier, I was kind of for this because I felt like this was a move to sort of walk in line with what they need to do for themselves, which is like PlayStation can keep riding the hot hand. They're doing fine. Yeah. Xbox is making
I mean, PS5 is honestly, I mean, I don't know how to feel about this generation because it's so weird. It's like, it feels too quick. And maybe it's just because like right when I graduated, these consoles were like 2 years into release. I didn't get them yet. I got them in 2022, so I think I was 2 years behind. And ever since then, it just feels like everything's been just like sped, like it's just speed running everything. I mean, the fact that they're talking about building a new console in 2027, making a new console in 2027 is like, what? it just seems too quick to me. Like,
A lot of money. But obviously, if you could do this generation over again and learn from a lot of your mistakes, you'd probably want to do that sooner rather than later. So yeah, I think Xbox is very much ready to move on, as we'll talk about in the next phase of this video with some next generation console leaks. But while Microsoft is saying these are committed retail partners, I still look at hardware fading out. And there's every statistical reason and optical reason why they would be doing this. And I don't think it's a really bad choice. Not a lot of people are buying it. Why would you make more of it? Why would you stock more of it when you're looking to the next generation? And based off the leaks that we covered from Moore's Law is Dead, if that's going to be targeting more of the PC market.
That's the thing, though. They can't just start charging consoles to be like $1,500. That is too much. Now, if they're making a pre-built Xbox PC and they're charging $800, $900, I'm not going to buy it. I might not buy it, you know, but I mean, if I was going to buy it, I would honestly consider it. Like, I mean, not like that, but I mean, if you were looking at getting a new console and it was a PC built, you know, pre-built Xbox, I would be like, hey, that's not a bad idea.
Then your whole entire marketing strategy is changing dramatically, especially when you're going to try to deliver something more premium and arguably, potentially more niche.
I just think that they're late on the PC. Like, if they really wanted to take head on this PC situation, they could have just dropped it when they dropped the Xbox Series X and skipped over, because the PC is now a norm. Everybody I know has a PC. Everybody. I only have one friend out of, like, because I dropped a lot of friends, but okay, one of my friends, yes, he has an Xbox. I think he has an Xbox Series X. He doesn't play on it that much, but he has a MacBook too. Always on his MacBook, either on his Xbox Series X. Another friend, he's on his Xbox all the time. Xbox Series S. My other friend, he used to have an Xbox, has PC, always been PC now for like 4 years. Some of my friends don't even play any console. Then my other friend is only on PC. I'm on such a mix of different type of, like, I have everything other than the Switch 2 and the Series X or whatever the series are. I have a PS5, Xbox 360, Xbox One S, PC, Nintendo Switch. I have like 2 Nintendo Switches, 3DS, DS, another 3DS. I don't own any type of Xbox past Xbox One. I have Xbox One S though and Xbox 360, but 360 is just goated, and I'll probably be playing New Vegas on there too.
So now let's look ahead to the next generation. Video Game Chronicle reports PlayStation 6 and next Xbox consoles are both aiming for 2027 release. That's because Kepler L2 over on NeoGAF, who's accurately reported AMD hardware in the past, has claimed that Sony's plan is to release the PS6 in 2027. He said,
neither of them are better. But if you rate which one is better, I would say the second one is better. But both of them are horrible, evil people, and they had different reasons of doing it. I do think that's why the first reason is honestly horrible, because he just did it just to do it, versus the other one did it for like a blackmail situation. But regardless, both of them are pretty bad. I wouldn't even be mentioning those two.
His quote, "It's not just on the table, it's the plan unless any unexpected delays happen." Now, I think this generation has taught us one thing, and it's that the original plan is not always the plan. Like, there's always a plan B, C, D, E, F, G, like all the way down the alphabet. Like, it just seems, especially in the case of Xbox, as we'll get into a little bit, like, yeah, I think plans have changed a lot, especially with how the global economy has gone. You look at how we had a moment there where it was, for a second, oh, no doubt, Nintendo Switch.
I have no idea. I've never seen. I forgot who that was.
2 is going to launch in early June, and then all of a sudden tariffs hit, and it's like, are they going to do that? Should they do that?
This is going to be
what
insane.
happens when they have to build more stock, manufacture more stock? How's that going to go for them? Obviously, Nintendo stayed true to the vision. We'll see how quickly by next year that vision changes. But you get the idea. Plans can change pretty rapidly. Now, to add on to this reporting, Moore's Law is Dead was also talking about the PlayStation 6, and I got hit with a Dustin Furman flashbang here. I was like, whoa, there's my man. Last Stand Media, represent. But he was on Broken Silicon 331. And Moore's Law is Dead said that he had access to a document that said that production of the PlayStation 6 is beginning mid to late 2027. So it looks like you can count on PlayStation 6 being there in 2027. We know that they're also doing a handheld of some kind, which Moore's Law is Dead has speculated will be somewhere in that $500 to $600 range. It'll be dockable. It'll be a lot like a Switch. That is one thing I have to say.
I personally do think they need to make a PS Vita too. I would love to own a new PlayStation handheld. I mean, I never had the glory of actually owning either of them ever. I played the PSP multiple times when I was a kid, but I never owned one. I always owned a DS, and the PSP beat the DS. Then you had the 3DS and PS Vita. The PS Vita was always one step ahead. I mean, you could play GTA Liberty Stories, and as a kid, I'm like in third, fourth grade, fifth grade, and like the idea that I could play GTA handheld, and I never even owned GTA, was like, whoa, like that's beautiful. And Resident Evil and Uncharted, Last of Us, like, bro, what?
I am very excited to see what both these console manufacturers do for their handhelds, because yes, Xbox is also making their own handheld, although the last report we really got on it was from Windows Central, where they said that Xbox's first party handheld had been sidelined for Project Kennen, which is the Xbox ally that we know now, and is coming out this week. This delay has really shaped the vision of the next generation of Xbox consoles, because Steam OS dropped around the time of this rumor, and it scared the life out of Microsoft so much that they really doubled down on stripping away a lot of the Windows bloat, making Windows more of a gaming friendly operating system, getting the best performance, the best battery life out of it. Again, we'll see with the Xbox Ally and the new UI and how everything's going there, if they have actually set themselves up for success in that.
There is a video where he has the Xbox handheld, and I do want to see what that looks like.
Department. For those who are wondering, by the way, I don't have one for review, at least not yet. So yeah, we see the Xbox Series consoles slowing down for many obvious reasons. We see PlayStation setting their eyes to the next generation. We just saw a video with Mark Cerny called The Future of Play, and it was the standard Mark Cerny tech talk that you come to know and love. Either that, or for many, it's a free nap time, whichever way you want to look at it. I respect. But yeah, both sides are gearing up for the next generation. Gotta say, it's a weird feeling still. Like, I know I mentioned it earlier, but it's a really weird feeling, because it just, I don't know, it went so differently in my brain. That's like one of the best ways I feel I can put it. There was so many different parts of this generation that I thought could have gone differently. Like, did we need a bunch of remasters of things we just got? I look at you, PlayStation, with like the last.
Yeah, like, I'm so tired of what's going on with these consoles. The PS5 I love because of the new games that come out, and they didn't flop, but Xbox did have a lot of good games too. It's just they get overlooked a lot. Starfield was not horrible. Indiana Jones is not bad. There's a bunch of games for Xbox that are pretty decent games. It's just, I don't know.
Last of Us Part 2 getting remastered. I know a lot of people love The Last of Us. I do love the first one, but to me, I'm like, remastering a 2020 game is a little strange. Director's cut upgrades, $10, nickel and diming energy, a lot of really strange business decisions being made by both sides. Of course, with Xbox, we had completely different expectations. Entering this generation, Xbox spent a lot of money. It was like, oh my God, they're going in on exclusives. This is going to be really exciting competition. And they've gone in every single direction I could never, ever have guessed. And honestly, never even thought was possible until I saw their business remain sustained over a year, operating the way that they have. Like, in my head, I saw Xbox having this new set of mascots that they could put on the front of the next generation of Xbox, on the front of that box. And same thing with PlayStation. I'm like, every generation for PlayStation, I feel they introduce new mascots and maybe keep a couple of carryovers. Like, you look at the PS2 to the 3 and the 3 to the 4.
Well, I think their biggest mascot, whatever, was, do you think 41 Unk snapped? I don't know who that is. Was he make Plug and B songs or something? I do think they're mascots though. Fuck, bro. Why can I not say it? Mascots. Like, why am I saying cocks? Holy shit. Mascots. It sounds weird when you say it over and over again. Mascots. But I think their biggest ones were like Starfield was for Xbox and Spider-Man 2 was for PS5. I think they did pretty good, but I think Spider-Man 2, of course, like just Spider-Man 2. Spider-Man is honestly one of my favorite games from the PlayStation exclusives. Like, it's really good. I love Spider-Man. I mean, the fact they're going to be having Wolverine as well is just insane.
And you'll see like Ratchet and Clank stays on board for these generations, but then you see like Uncharted is introduced with the PS3. You have The Last of Us at the end of the PS3. You have the reinvention of God of War in the PS4 generation. That's also where you get Ghost of Tsushima. Now Jin Sakai is like this big PlayStation mascot. You get what I'm saying? And like PlayStation 5, outside of Returnal, to my head, it's kind of been a more of the same thing, which isn't a bad thing. A lot of people know and love that. It's definitely a safe business, but it's been a little bit of a less exciting generation because of that. And so I remember when we were talking about leading into the Xbox One and PS4, the excitement I had. I mean, granted, I was much younger, but holy smokes, off the walls. And then leading into the Series X and S, as well as the PS5.
I don't know why. I have like a lisp when I say it, but no.
I was really excited again. I have no doubt come 2027 I'll be excited because like new hardware is always really exciting. But it's the first time, I think, for a console generation, at least from the outside looking in, I feel a little trepidatious. It's been one of diminishing returns, right? Like, we knew the visuals wouldn't be pushed much, but they've been pushed in really weird ways that don't matter much. It's been the return of 30 frames per second. We thought that was a thing of the past. It's been a really weird generation, is what I'm saying, in a very long-winded way.
This generation
So I'm interested to
sucks.
see how this new hardware tackles the issues of this generation, because I do feel like we can eventually forget about this one, but the next generation has to be like, fire us out of a rocket. We learned a ton of lessons. Like, the business is stable.
I just don't think it's going to happen. In the back of my mind, I'm like, yeah, Xbox is done. PlayStation 7's probably like, PlayStation's probably going to be the last like console other than Nintendo. Of course, Nintendo is just going to be always around. The Switch 2 is just going to be too expensive to buy for what it is. And I think that's the problem with Nintendo, is that Nintendo sets the bar with the fact that they are the cheaper console. They're the console that you can afford. And you could play games that are not as high quality, but they're pretty good games. Like, you get Zelda Tears of the Kingdom, which I love to death, and Breath of the Wild, love to death. Then you get a bunch of Mario games, Mario Odyssey, goated. They're not high quality games. That's what makes it like, I don't know, it has its own feeling to it. And the fact that the Switch was like, what, $300, $250, like OLED, like, bro. And now it's $500 for the Switch 2. Yeah, it's set the bar crazy.
You know what we're doing? Let's do this thing. But if it's more of what we're getting this generation, man, that's going to suck. So we'll see. You know me. I'm very much like an optimistic person.